What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Andy Arts, and welcome to this video tutorial. So I decided to do an Affinity tutorial because, well, Photoshop is out of the picture, and Photoshop, pretty much Adobe, Instagram, these tech companies pretty much have betrayed artists trying to take their art for to feed the artificial intelligence AI generator, right? And so naturally, I said, okay, screw Photoshop, screw Instagram. I mean, some people still use Instagram. But Photoshop, I said, Photoshop is easily replaceable because while a social media website with billions of people, you need that for marketing, you need that to reach audiences, right? But a software such as Photoshop, we can find other options very easily. I've recently used Canva. But I really like Affinity Photo because number one, you own it. You don't have to pay monthly for it. You pay once. Okay, you pay once and you own it. It is yours. It is your software forever, right? Okay, so if you guys are wondering how much Affinity Photo costs, I paid $37 for it. And the reason why I paid $37, it was because it was on sale. Originally, I think this software is about $60 to $70. Again, you pay once and you own the whole thing, right? I don't know if you have to pay for updates. That's a different story. But anyways, it's like the old Photoshop. So let's go ahead and let's get started here. This is really, hold on. This is really, really cool. So I threw up some text here just to show you, how it is, how we get started. So let me go ahead and introduce you to the interface because it's very similar to Photoshop except with a couple of different twists. There's a lot of Photoshop clones out there, and once you learn how to use Photoshop, you pretty much learn to use every other photo editing software out there. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the with the left sidebar here. We got the hand, right? So this hand right here, it lets you move the entire canvas, which yeah, it lets you move the entire canvas. I found it very weird. Because this is a feature that will usually be in like touchscreens, right? Then there is the arrow. Now the arrow lets you control items, and the arrow also lets you like change the size of an item, right? Of a like text or an object, right? So if you want to transform something, you literally have to do it with the arrow, right? And then there's other options for transforming right here. So right here we can actually transform. It says flip horizontally. Ah, there you go. Flip horizontally. Reverse. Okay, then we got the brush. Is this the brush tool? What is this? Oh no, this is the color picker. Let's see, the color picker looks very, very different here. See, picking colors. All right, so we go back over here. We got the crop tool, and the crop tool is very similar to the one in Photoshop. The only difference is the one is that I found is that the crop tool, although it does reduce, uh, the crop tool only reduces the canvas size, but it does not reduce the image size. So you could like cut the canvas in half, for example. Let's say we cut it up over here, right? But then like but the image is still the same size. Does that make sense? Yeah. So the canvas changes, the image doesn't change. What do we have here? What is this? This is the selector, right? So the selector. Uh, this is the quick selector, and then they also had the magic wand here. So the magic wand. Damn it. Hold on. All right. I don't really have any objects here in the magic wand, so that's probably let me open something. Let me open an image. I'm gonna open an image here. Let's go with Kingdom Hearts. Let's use this Kingdom Hearts image. Let's use the magic wand tool on it. And there you go. See these little ants running around? Right? And then just like Photoshop, if you want to like select more things with the magic wand, you hold the shift button and start clicking around, clicking around. Oh, wait, hold on. Damn it. Hold on. Where's the? Oh, you hold. Sorry, you hold the control button, and then it lets you pick around. All right. So, where were we? Okay. So, the selection tool. Then we got the shape tool. This pretty much does the same thing. It's just a selection tool with shapes. Paint bucket tool. We got the what is this? Gradient tool. All right. So I selected the text, and now the text has a gradient, as you can see here. Let me zoom this up. Can I zoom this up? All right. So we get the gradient tool. Yeah. See that? Gradient. We got the paintbrush. Now, I don't know if these. Hold on. Let me choose a color. All right. So my apologies, guys. The other layer was under the text, so I had to like go back and change it. So I don't know if this works with pen pressure. I have seen videos where like some people use like their tablet to draw on this, but I don't really recommend it. Oh yeah, here's the eraser tool, by the way. I'm using the eraser. Yeah. So this is pretty much all the same. The only thing is that the text, when if you want to add text, right? The text tool basically creates a text box, right? So it creates a text box, right? You start writing in it, right? And hold on. You start writing in it, and I was trying to add a stroke. I was trying to find out how do you add a stroke to text, right? And the way to do it is that you have to choose the shape. So you go to the rectangle here, right? You go to the rectangle, or you go to the shapes. Click on the square, go to the shapes, and then go to the rectangle tool. And over here it says at the top it has a fill, which is like what color you want. Right now it's a gradient. This is up here in the top left corner, right? But then on the right next to the fill of the shape like selection, there is it says stroke, right? So if we go ahead and choose a different stroke, there you have it. See right here, it changed the color of the stroke of the text. Okay, so let me go ahead and delete these layers here. I'm gonna delete these layers, right? So we could delete this layer. Let's create a new layer. Oh, by the way, over here in the layer side, the layers are not called just layers. It's called pixel layer, right? So this is a pixel layer. I guess they're trying not to get sued by Photoshop. It's a pixel layer, and then over here, you click on this little icon here. It says add pixel layer, creates another layer, right? You can give it a name. And let me show you how text works because the text here is very different. So I'm gonna write, I don't know, and the arts, right? And let me change this color. I don't like this. Go yellow. Yeah, there we go. And the arts. I'm gonna use the arrow, move it around, and let me go ahead and change the size. Okay, cool. Now, when I was adding text here, I was wondering how do you add a drop shadow? Because if you look up here, like on the top menu options, there isn't like anything specific for like shadow, for shadow editing. And then if we usually in Photoshop, you would go to the layers and there will be like options here, like layer adjustments. You will be able to like do like embed and emboss on your layers, but it's done differently. So in order to do this, right, in order to do this, you go back to the layers, right, to the layer section here, and there's an icon here. It's called FX, which is layer effects. You click on that, right? You click on that, and then it brings this window, right? Brings this window, and okay. And here you have all the options for if you want to embed it in both. Actually, yeah, let me go ahead and do that. Embed it in both. Yeah, it looks so cool with embedded in both. I love that effect. So you have to click on it if you want to if you want to edit the embedded in both, right? And then you can change the radius. I'm gonna leave it like just right there. It looks so cool. Now we're gonna add a drop shadow. Now the drop shadow in this software, it is outer shadow. So you gotta click this little box here. After you click the little box, you have to click on the outer shadow option, and then it will create it for you. Then it lets you modify the shadow. So here are the options, right? Now it says opacity, radius, offset. Now the shadow color is black, and the opacity, this is how it's supposed to look. But I'm trying to see where is my shadow. So see, I want the shadow to have a distance from the text. So I'm gonna click on offset. Oh, there. Oh, here we go. Now it's like pulling away. Okay, here we go. All right, so you see that? So if you look at my text now, my text has a drop shadow. And again, we did that with the offset option here. All right, look at that. Looks so cool. And then of course you can change the drop shadow color, the opacity of the drop shadow. I'm gonna leave it dark for now just so people can see it. And then the extensity. What is it? I'm not quite sure what the intensity means. The radius. Oh, I think the radius is kind of like, I guess, like the blur effect of it. The blur effect of the text shadow, which you can give it, yeah, you can let it blur, right? We're not trying to blur it that much right now. Right, and there you go. And then you just hit close, and the effects are all there. And on the layer of the text here has the FX little icon to show you that you've added effects to this text. Now, so it says Andy Arts. Now let's go ahead and mess around with backgrounds, right? So I got the Kingdom Hearts. Okay, so this is something that hold on, damn it. This is something that I figured out. Now, in Photoshop, you will click the short key for the selection tool will be V. You will click on V, and then it will let you just grab something and drag it over to another layer, no, to another file. Right. So here, the first thing you have to do if you want to remove the like the whole image and separate it from the background, what you do is you go to the layer, right, and you see you have to double click it, or you click on the lock to remove it, and now you can move it around. See, you can move it around. Okay, and let me back up a little bit. You can move it around, and you can't just I. What I used to do in Photoshop is I would just hold and drag it over to the other file. So I would drag it over to here, right? But what you have to do here is you have to right click it, copy, and then paste it. And there it is. Right, let me move it to behind this layer right here. Right, and now we can put it behind. So right here you have a little nice YouTube thumbnail, right? This is basically a YouTube thumbnail. Right, this is commonly what people do. So if you want to work with this, right? So if you want to make your YouTube thumbnails or whatever other graphics, this is how you do it. You got a background image, you got some text, right? So I'm just teaching you just simple things about this software and how to use it, right? Now let's go ahead and let's close this Kingdom Hearts. I want to show you something else. I want to show you something else as to, let me open another one. Another image that I can, Legoshi, let's see Legoshi. All right, so we got Legoshi from Beastars. And what I want to do, I want to remove the background. Okay, so we're going to go click on our wand, the wand tool, which you can click W for it. And we're just going to, wait, let me put a layer under it just in case. We're going to click on the white space. Oh, no, wait, hold on. I'm in the wrong layer. We're going to click on the white space. And okay, so it looks like it's also selecting, Legoshi here, but we're not going to worry about that. So we're going to erase everything that is white. So we're gonna click on delete or backspace, whatever you want to click on, right? And right, so that's how you remove the background, right? We remove the background, and Legoshi's got no shirt on now. Right now, you're probably wondering, okay, so how do you save your files, right? How do you save your files? Does it save the same way? Because Photoshop, in the Photoshop cloud, the way that you save a file is very different from the traditional Photoshop of the 2000s or early 2010s. So the way that you save files now is you go to file up here, and it says save as, right? But when you hit save as, hold on, actually no, let me go ahead and do this with our YouTube thumbnail here, right? So the way that you save a file, now usually people will click on save as. Now if you click save, it's gonna save it as an Affinity file. If you click save as, it also saves it as an Affinity file, right? And then if you click on save as type, it only has the Affinity files type. All right, we don't want to save it as an Affinity file. We want to save it as either a JPEG or a PNG. So we're gonna go to File, and the way that you have to do it, you have to go to Export. You have to hit Export. Yeah, and then all right. So here we are on Export. Up here, you select what type of file you want to save it as, and here it says PNG, JPEG, GIF, GIF, like those little moving files, or there's TIFF, there's PSD for Photoshop files. This is how you save it. So we're gonna select JPEG, right? And we're gonna hit export, and then you select your hold on, Andy Arts example. Select your folder where you want to save it. Save, and there you go. And now let's go ahead and open it. Andy. All right, and here it is. Here's our JPEG file. So as you can see, it is very different. It is very, very, very different. Like at least the user interface is very different from other stuff that you have seen. Now down here there is a navigator. Basically shows you, like, if you zoom in, it still shows you your navigator, like where you're working on. Um, it's got the history. It's got the transform options down here. Right, the layers here. It has channels, right? It has the brushes here. Um, it's got your brushes options. I actually haven't used any of these brushes. Let me go ahead and try these. So let me hide this. Right? Can I? Hold on a second. Okay, so I actually forgot to show you this, guys. But right here, you know how like Photoshop has the little eye icon to show you, to show that you can see the file, the layer. So here on when you're on the layers option over here, there's this little circle. You just click on the circle to make it visible or invisible, the layers, right? So we're gonna make it invisible for now, and we're gonna choose the brushes. And let's go ahead and see some of these brushes, right? Let's go ahead and try this. Hold on. Damn it. All right, I don't know why it's not working right now. All right, well, again, I don't really use this for like drawing with brushes, so we're not gonna worry about that. Up here is your color. Um, Up here is basically your color options, right? You got RBG, CMYK, whatever you want to use. There's also the option of the color wheel. We also have a color wheel here. You can change it from a color wheel to boxes. You can change it from a color wheel to tints. You can change it to. I really like the color wheel. I'm gonna leave it there. Right. So that is all I have for you guys right now. They also do have filters, right? They got filters, Gaussian blur, ratio blur, zoom, right? They got The layers is pretty much just for. It almost does the same thing as Photoshop. But you can also like edit the layers just by right clicking over here. You right click it, you can rasterize the layer, add a new layer, and there's like other options for layering. You can merge the layers, whatever you want to do. Right, but yeah, and it's had the same tools such as, hold on, let me make this visible again. It also has the same tools such as the cloning option, right? This is the cloning brush. It's got the undo brush. It's got the blur brush, the healing brush, the pen tool, which I really don't like to use the pen tool on Photoshop. It's so annoying. So there it is, guys. There it is. This is Affinity. It is much cheaper than Photoshop. So Photoshop, if you only sign up for Photoshop right now, it is like $10 a month, right? So $10 a month. So times 12 months, that's $120. And if if you stay on the subscription model, you're gonna keep paying for it and paying for it and paying for it every month, and you're gonna be spending, basically $120 a year. However, if you sign up for Affinity, you can get it for like $60, $70, and they do have discounts right now. As of the time of this video, they have like a 40% discount. You can get it for $35 on Affinity Photo. So go ahead and check it out. I'm gonna put a link in the description so that you guys can go ahead and grab Affinity Photo for $35. After August 2024, that's gonna change. It's probably not gonna be available for $35. So that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that you like Affinity. And yeah, so there's better art tools out there. We don't have to stick with Photoshop. So this is your boy Andy Arts. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you like the video. Hit the notification bell. Like the video for other people to find it. Share the video. Leave a comment below and tell me what you think. Guys, I'll see you in the next video.